Morning.
How are
We
you
have
guys doing?
we have a third person here. We have a special guest.
Hey
Daniel, how
guys,
are
how
you?
are you? Good. How are you guys?
Good. All right. Well, let's jump right in. We have a lot to discuss. Guys, it is Today in Travel. We talk about all things in the travel industry. I am Jason, a travel advisor with Cruise Planners. And with me, as always, is Miss Haley. And we'll save our guest for last. Haley, introduce yourself if anybody's joining us for the first time.
Hello, everybody. My name is Haley. I'm the owner of Hospitality with a Flair, which is a hotel sales support company. Been in hotels for 17 years, and I travel blog. Love going to Europe and talking travel with Jason. But I gotta say, I'm super happy and excited for this topic today. For those of you that are new, we are here every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, Jason, let's introduce the guest.
All right. Well, Daniel is someone I work very closely with at work. He is one of my go-to people for all things premium airfare and above. So, Daniel, I'll let you do a brief introduction, and then we'll just get right in to talk all things airfare. So, introduce yourself briefly to everyone.
Thanks so much, Jason. So my name is Daniel. I work for an airfare provider for travel advisors. We help them get the lowest prices and great services. I've been in the industry for about 15, almost 20 years now. Started with the Puerto Rico Tourism Company, actually, as a supplier side, and then have moved to airfare. So I've been in different shoes as well. So I'm excited to be here and to actually tell people how amazing it is to book airfare through travel advisors.
Oh, awesome! I know it's Haley and I talk about airfare a lot on this show. This is just
Daily.
a daily.
Daily.
We talk about airfare all the time, so this is just a natural extension of our normal conversation. So let's jump right in. So Daniel, when you and I, when we typically talk about airfare, we're typically talking about premium airfare and above. So what do you mean by premium cabin airfare? Like, what does it mean to be premium?
Well, basically not economy. So premium cabin airfare is normally anything that's premium economy, business, or first class airfare. They call those premium cabins because they obviously have different types of um, perks that economy seats don't have. So yeah, it's always has an extra layer of comfort or services that are not included with the economy side.
Got it.
So, speaking of that, like, what is the difference between like a domestic and international premium cabin offerings?
So obviously, you guys know that first of all, this is different from one to the other. The seats that I'm actually sitting on right now. So domestic airfare is normally different seats. It's just front of the plane, so you don't have um, those turn left, turn right type of aisles. Where if you go left, you go to the premium cabin side, and if you go right, you go to the economy premium economy side. So are those, and the same thing is obviously pricing is different and the services are different from a domestic flight than an international premium cabin. But I want to say most of the important things is basically the seating. The seating is not cabins as you see right here behind me, so just basically a bigger regular seat. They do offer obviously better services as in drinks and food, but because they're short haul flights, it's basically something that people just like the seats and like to go more comfortable.
No, that's great. So, something that I think always confuses people, I'll have clients that they're traveling across the pond internationally for the first time, and they say they want first class seats. Um, Explain a little bit how domestic first is very different than international first, and what is real international first, and how is it different than a domestic first?
So domestic first again is it's kind of a blurred line between first and business class in the domestic side. Some airlines call them business class, others call them first class. It is kind of the same type of layout where the first six or seven lines of seats are kind of reserved for those types of seats. Sometimes it's a two configuration most of the time, so you have two big seats on each side. They do get like I said, the services on their drinks. They do get their separate bathroom from the other back of the side. But first class on the international side is completely different. So there's some airlines that actually will pick you up in your house and bring you to the airport. You do have a specific first class lounge. There are, as you know, levels of lounges. You have the business lounge, you have the credit card lounges, and then you have the first class lounges. Those first class lounges not only are very different from the business class lounges, they also have a specific way of going into the aircraft. So they normally have a separate door where people are not bothered by the regular business class seats or the economy seats. And normally those lounges offer massages, they offer showers, they have beds. So it is a whole different thing. The food is completely different than on the business class side. They have newspapers, magazines. So it is a whole different experience going to a first class. They also do drop off services. So if you do need to have a drop off from the airport to the hotel, they do it. They don't do it in a regular Prius. They normally do either a Porsche or a Maybach. Mercedes I've seen with Emirates. So it is a pickup drop off, amazing lounge. And then of course inside the seats are completely different seats. Normally the first class seats do have completely laid back flat seats. That means you're going to be able to actually lay down completely, not a 180 degree or a 270 degree. It'll be normally completely down. And the food is different. The first class menu is different. The alcohol selection is different from business class. So it is definitely a step up.
I have never felt more poor in my life than when I was flying business class on Air France. I was in seat 1A, thought I was just, I'm the shit. I'm in business class. I'm in 1A. Ahead of me, it's La Premiere.
Which is
First,
amazing.
first, right? And this, I was with a friend of mine, Haley. It was Michael. We're at Charles de Gaulle. We're flying home. We're both in business class, and he goes, "Oh, there's our lounge." And I was like, "No, no, no, no. We have the business class lounge. That's the La Premiere first class." And so I get the JFK. We land, and I'm at baggage claim, waiting for the bags to come out, and I see the first class La Premiere Air France passengers. They have their bags personally delivered. They were
Mm-hmm.
like saran wrapped and Air France like tape. It was I
Humbling.
there. I was humbling. I thought I was really doing a good thing by being in business class, but first international is not the same as flying first class Nashville to JFK. It's a different.
No, and that's
Oh
something
no,
I
no at
find
all.
myself frequently saying to people like, "Oh, I want to fly first class over," because they're thinking of like business class seats. It's like business class and first are just two different animals here.
Yeah, and definitely with the pricing as well. Business class pricing and first class pricing, it's definitely a difference. Like there's
Insane.
some airlines that are $20,000, $30,000. For example, Emirates can go even higher. Etihad, the residences, if sometimes it'll be like $45,000 for a round trip ticket to New York from to Abu Dhabi and back. So
Right.
The and which is the one that has the Q suite? That's Qatar, right? Q suite as well. That's
the Q
another.
suite is Qatar Airways, yes. But first class that they have airlines is Air France has first class. Um, Etihad has first class, which is the room. Singapore Airlines has the first class, which is the room with the bed and everything. I think that's about it. Most of
Doesn't
the airlines are
BA
now putting more business
doesn't
class seats.
doesn't BA have first?
BA has the Business World, which is kind of like first class, but it's really not first class.
Okay. Okay.
It's just the club seat. Yeah, most airlines, because of course people know that first class kind of tends to be more money. They still have the business class, or they are retrofitting a lot of the first class seats into business class seats.
Okay. Got it. All right. Haley, I think you
So
have the next
we
question.
talked about first class. So like, what is the perks difference when it comes to business?
So business class is kind of the same side of first class. Of course, you do have your lounge. Like I said, the business class lounge. There's more comfortable seats. One of the things that I forgot to say about these kinds of seats is the mileage. So you do get different types of mileage if you book a business class or first class seat into your account. I think first class sometimes, depending on the airline, can be double or almost 2.5 more times the regular mileage. Same thing as business class. I think business class go 1.5 or more. So you do get also those type of perks Apart from that, I want to say that business class is literally the best service right now for the international traveler that's not breaking the bank. You do have your lounge access, which a lot of people don't use. This is something that I always tell travel advisors. And I'm like, if your client is buying a business class seat, tell them to go through the whole experience. They should go in early. They should go explore the lounge. They should really know what business class is. Because sometimes people get there at the nick of time. And then they're like, oh, I paid just for the seat. I'm like, well, if you were there earlier, you could have gone to the lounge. You could have gone to, the whole experience of doing business class. Apart from that, it does vary a lot from airline to airline, including seats, including menus, including alcohol. So it really depends on what type of service you want. For example, Qatar Airways, which is one of our, I think it's the number one right now, business class seat. It really has been on the up and up since they started doing the business class seats, the new one, the Q suites. And it really has taken off because they have impeccable service. The seats are super comfortable. The menu is amazing. So they do go above and beyond also on the customer service side. They treat you like a king. Another big thing about business class and first class that a lot of people don't get, amenity sets. There's amenity
Oh,
sets that have La
Ooh.
Mer, that have, all these brands that even if you go to a store and buy it, it would be $2,000-$3,000 just for whatever is in that bag. So a lot of people sometimes leave their amenity kits. I'm like, why are you doing that? And some of them are those are perks and those are things that people don't
so
really.
I have a stash of the bags right back here, and I use them when
Oh,
I travel all the time. I love them.
my
Yeah, the
husband uses them
slippers.
to organize out like cords and stuff
Yeah.
now. Like we have all of our little tags.
Yeah. But you do have a lot of more difference. Obviously, there's a lot of changes happening with the airlines. I read an article not long ago that a lot of the airlines are putting more business class or premium cabin offerings. So it can be a premium economy or business class seats. And they're actually putting less economy seats because they understand that clients do want to go more comfortable, specifically if they go over the pond, they go to Australia, Africa, kind of those long haul trips. They are seeing that business class does sell very, very well.
No, it does. And and just so you guys are clear, if you come to me to book flights and you want the business class, and it's you have a connection in America, you're going to see Nashville to JFK first class, JFK to Dubai business class.
Mm-hmm.
And so that just means domestic flights are different than international, but we can get you paired up for both. So some people get confused on why don't I have first class going across the pond. It's like, well, you're flying Delta, they don't have true first. The American companies don't really have true international first class.
They
Like we
don't.
talked about, it's the other airline. So
And I mean, and some of the perks are really neat. I know, Jason, you've done it, but when we flew home from London, I loved having that separate check-in area at
Mm-hmm.
Heathrow where they
yeah.
had their own separate security, and that
Oh,
was just
the upper class lounge. Yeah,
yeah.
Yep.
it's not. No, so Daniel, I really like what you said about the full experience because I remember telling Haley this when I was flying home this summer, or this fall, I mean, from Rome. I was flying Air France business, checked in, and no, that's a lie. I was actually flying Delta business, but I had the Air France lounge. And the guy did not tell me when I checked in, drop off the bag, that I had lounge access somewhere to go. Like I knew that, the travel advisor, the seasoned traveler, and I've often thought it is a shame of how many people probably purchase a business class ticket and don't know, not because they're ignorant or they're dumb, they just weren't told
Mm-hmm.
they get lounge access. So I've never thought about what you said, how many people that must happen to.
No, and the lounge access not only is it's just the comfort side, you can have a meal there that we all know that airport prices are ridiculous. You
They
can
are.
have a meal if you go in early in the morning. You can have breakfast, coffee, tea. Like I said, you can bring reading
Champagne,
materials. You have
champagne,
magazines there,
champagne.
champagne, of course. Obviously in the morning or at night, whenever it is. Like I said, there's some lounges that have. I was in the Air France lounge in JFK, and they have like a massage seat. So you can just regularly
Yep.
have a massage right there. So it really it enhances the experience for the traveler. And a lot of travelers that are doing leisure, again, they either, oh my God, I'll go 20 minutes or 30 minutes before boarding starts, or if it's an hour, 2 hours before, and like then you're losing the opportunity of experiencing the actual business lounge, because again, once you're running, you never know what's going to happen in the lines, even though you have a separate check-in.
I agree.
And I feel a lot of people really do not use those perks as they should.
One
Yeah.
of my favorite things to do at a lounge, especially if it's a nighttime long haul flight, I love to take a shower at the lounge.
Mhm.
I've been traveling all. I live in Nashville. I'm always at a connecting. I'm always in Detroit or Atlanta or JFK. Long layover. I love taking a shower, putting on my Lulu joggers for my long overhaul, and I love taking a shower in the lounge. I absolutely
Again, those are things that again people don't understand when you're
right,
long traveling, especially when you travel. Sometimes you get in and you were in a cruise, so you have the cruise air,
right,
the air, like you just want to relax and kind of get more comfortable. So whenever you come in dressed more, you want to just relax and put your joggers or your sweatpants on, and obviously take a shower. And again, it's apart from that, it's the same services and the same amenity kits that you have on the airline will be at the actual lounge.
right,
So sometimes
right.
they have the same product line all the way through. So you can just have a shower with a Lamer product or all those stuff that it's definitely. I've been to some lounges that are crazy comfortable for people. Like I have one that was actual masseuse there. It wasn't a
Yeah,
chair, and you can
I
actually
totally
get
love.
an actual massage for like 25 minutes. And you're like, what? Like, yep, just let us know. I'm like, oh, perfect. And that was in China. I was in China for a bit,
That's
and it was
amazing.
like amazing. Yeah. And I was in Beijing, and there's like 16, 17 different lounges there. So
That's
I would
unbelievable.
move from one lounge to the other. I'm like, okay, I'm here and then
For
That
me,
here.
it's
yeah,
just not being near the chaos of the gate. Like it's just quieter. And you can actually find a seat because everybody at the gate area has all five of their bags on the whole row of seats. And I mean, and I travel, with a daughter that's a little neurospicy, so having someplace a little quieter,
Yeah.
um, it's just nice.
And you
nice.
are seeing that's one of the things about the lounges that everybody has been obviously articles after the pandemic hit is that you have a lot of lounges that are overbooked or oversold. Just to tell you guys, most of those lounges are attached to credit cards. The American Express lounges are obviously if you have a card, anybody can get a Mario, but most people can get a American Express card, even if it's a cheap one, and they can buy into doing the lounge. It's not like they get it for free. Some cards do get it for free, but a lot of the lounges that are very very full are the ones that are attached to credit cards. So don't be scared
Don't get
about.
hey, don't get me started. Ask Haley about my views of the Centurion Lounge at JFK.
It's ridiculous.
I hate that place. I'd
Well,
rather
to be
go.
fair, you liked it originally because
Oh, it was
when
amazing.
we flew right after things started opening up,
It was
it was
amazing.
great.
It was
And
amazing.
now, I mean, it's just,
I would
I,
literally rather go sit at the Palm at the bar at JFK than go to the
And
Centurion
you
Lounge.
can
Or
see
not
the
even
lines
Starbucks.
out, which is ridiculous. The lines are like, are you really waiting to go in to be what, 20, 30 minutes and then go back? I'm
Yeah,
like, I don't get
yeah.
it.
All
Unless you're
right,
going to
so
have a long, layover, it's like, doesn't make
right.
sense.
I agree. So we talked about first class, talked about business, but there also is this new trend of this like a premium economy. So we used
Yes.
to just have economy, business, for some airlines first, but we're having this new trend of premium economy. So what is it? Who has it? And what are the benefits of premium economy?
I think that it's a sweet spot for a lot of people that want to start dipping their toes into premium cabin airfare because, again, it gives you a little bit of a taste. Seating is obviously different from whatever you have in economy. Normally, it's a little bit more comfortable. It's not a flat seat, but they normally do have foot rests that can go up a little bit so they can actually relax. They do have a different menu in premium cabin that they do have in economy for the long haul flights. I think there are some airlines that do offer alcohol services with premium cabin airfare, premium economy, sorry, airfare. They don't have amenity kits. That's the only thing that it's kind of different from the other side. They don't have access to lounges, but you do have a lot of airlines that are doing a premium economy. For example, one of the biggest that started, I think, a year and a half, 2 years ago was the Emirates. Emirates has an amazing premium economy product, and they actually are retrofitting a lot of the aircraft to have more premium economy seats. Because again, once clients dip their toes into those types of seats, it's an easy progression to go to business class. If they have the money, of course, if they can actually pay it, it is a very easy progression. But again, it's just the comfort when you're flying 16, 17, 18 hours out
Yep.
anywhere. Sometimes it just makes sense to kind of more. I always tell people, if your client is going to go more than 6 hours, try to upsell them. Try to be like, hey, you know what, maybe you want to try premium economy, put in your credit card or whatever it is. But I would advise you to go economy because seats are cramped. You never know. I used to fly with a friend of mine, and he could not do economy unless it was an emergency exit because he's 6'3".
Right.
So it's like, how would I would not be comfortable throughout the whole
It's
flight.
like Haley's husband. He's a very tall man,
He's like a lineman. He's just a big boy.
and he's
There you
tall.
go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
now
I
that he's
feel
got a
like,
taste, he doesn't want to fly anything but. And I think, like you mentioned out too, there's some airlines that do it very, very well. Like Jason, you and I have both flown premium economy on Virgin,
Hmm.
and
mhm.
I dare say it was almost good enough where I'm like, man, is it even worth spending that money for upper class? Because it was honestly an amazing experience. And I mean,
Especially
for a flight from New York to London,
it's
like,
6 hours. It's 6 hours. It's like by the time you get your meal and you like lay down to sleep, like you sleep for an hour and they're waking you up to start the your breakfast service.
Yeah.
It's like it's not a. I agree. I think more than 6 hours when it really starts to be that. Let's upgrade, but six, I can live in premium
uh,
economy.
Virgin Atlantic's premium economy is really great.
Yeah, I
I
would say
like
from the East Coast, anything going to Africa, obviously Africa, the Middle East, anything in Asia, definitely go either business class or first if you can. Especially also down to South America as well, because you do have a lot of airlines that from Miami go down to either Argentina or Chile, stuff like that. A lot of and now the
going
expedition
down
cruises
there.
that are going down there. So
Nice, nice. Well, we have to wrap this up soon, Haley. I'll give you the last
Last
question
one.
here.
So, what is the best way to buy premium cabin airfare?
So I would say always use a travel advisor. I just read an article, we were talking about this before, from Wall Street Journals about buying airfare through credit card travel companies. And it really doesn't pair up as a discount that we can get the travel advisors. Like Jason said, I work for a company that provides premium economy, business, and first class airfare to travel advisors so they can actually resell it to clients. There are some airfare that we get that is discounted off of the published price. That means that you guys are able to pay lower than it is online. That's something that's very specific to the companies that like the ones that I work for. And then also you have the service. We offer the travel advisor a 24/7 emergency service. That means if something were to happen while you are traveling, either Jason can come and contact us, or he can give you the information, any client, any traveler, and you guys can contact us, and we can get you rebooked and on their way. And what does that give you? The opportunity to not work with the airline on any customer service
Right.
related, which they're so fantastic. They're so good. People
No,
talk wonders about them.
yeah, I could tell you story after story after story of schedule changes. You guys fixed it. Client gave me the wrong spelling of a name, even though it was, and you guys, no issues. Easy fix, easy.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that a lot of clients don't think about is
Right.
whenever S hit the fan, it's very difficult to get a customer service person online. Even though you did business or first class, sometimes I've had stories where people get bumped out of business class. And we, as a company, have been able to get refunds back to the client because they pay for a business class seat. They should get a business class seat. So if you can't accommodate that, you have to pay back. So those are things that we do. The same thing as lost luggage. We are the
Oh,
ones that actually, yeah,
Oh,
we had some people that, oh, we lost the luggage. We're the ones that are dealing with the airline to get that luggage that is lost, and get them back to the client. so they don't have to deal with it. Even though the airline will know, if the person booked through us with a travel advisor, we actually have those services available.
Haley, I lied. I thought of one bonus question. Is that
Mhm.
allowed?
Oh no. Don't tell me.
What? Let's say I have a client that wants to do a private jet.
Ooh.
Okay, so
Private
I think
jets are amazing. They're
so.
definitely an amazing, definitely a specific clientele for that. But
Yes.
yeah, we also help travel agents with private jets. I just read an article that Las Vegas private jet parking for Super Bowl is already completely taken. So there are some specific instances where a lot of people do use private jets. There's a lot of domestic travel involved. I always say that full aircraft means savings. So if you have a clients that want to do, like for example, a bachelorette party or anything like that, I feel private jets are a good option. Also, a lot of people that do villa vacations. So, for example, if you have a whole
Right.
family that's 10, 12 people, they're gonna go to Mexico, they're gonna do a villa, and they all want to go in the same at the same time, get there at the same time. Private jets are also good. We actually just did a multi-country private jet charter, and it was $1 million.
Wow.
So, and that's either anything over the water is over $150,000. So I think they were doing 3 or 4 destinations. It was like a private jet. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what it was,
That's
um,
I
but it
read an
is
article. I read an article about the Las Vegas private jets are full, and I'm like, something tells me they'll make room for one more a Tokyo to Las Vegas private jet for a
probably
certain someone.
no. And there's a couple of executive airports. The good thing about the private jets is that you don't go to the airport. Of course, you have
Yeah,
your
right.
own FBO. It's a different lounge. It's a different thing.
Yeah,
Obviously, you can bring things that you normally cannot bring with the regular airfare. A lot
and
of
it's
people
not like
also do.
traditional TSA, right? Like traditional.
There's a lot
Yeah,
of
I
people
don't.
that do a lot of illegal things while they're doing a private jet. So, yeah, no, but you can bring, for example, a lot of people use it for sports travel. If they want to bring their own golf clubs, if they want to bring their own skis, they're going to
Nice.
Aspen and they want to bring, all the gear. It's a great option. Same thing with like surfing trips. People that want to go to Costa Rica and they want to bring 4 different boards because they're doing the long board, they're doing the short
Nice.
one, they're doing so those things are obviously a little bit more comfortable. Inside the US, you have a lot of group travel. A lot of people that are going,
Okay.
like I said, bachelorette parties, Super Bowl. We've done Super Bowl trips that are like 6, 7, 8 guys just going in, just they're staying for the Super Bowl and then coming back. So sports travel is a big, big thing also as well for that, which is great.
Awesome. Well, Daniel, thank you for giving us the background on what premium economy business first is, best way to do it, amenities. It has been truly enlightening. Thank you, Haley. Any parting questions or thoughts before we let Mr. Daniel go?
No, I'm just dreaming of a private jet right
I
now.
know.
We all are. We all are. No, but
That-
I want to tell your viewership, try to obviously upgrade, or at least whenever you're traveling long haul, always try to think about the business class or premium cabin airfare. Um, don't start your trip on a bad note. I always say that. People
Mhm.
start their trips on such a bad note when they go on economy. It's like, oh, it was horrible. The seat was horrible. I had 2 people that didn't want to share the armrest, and those things. I'm like, those things then set the mood for your whole trip. And I feel like
I
you
agree.
have to start at least with the premium cabin airfare, that you're more comfortable, you're relaxed, you do have the perks, the amenities, and then the trip is gonna go as great as the flight went.
No, it's a good way. It sets you're on vacation, sets the tone right from the beginning. I completely agree. Completely agree.
Perfect. Well, thank you
Awesome.
guys so much for having me. It was really, really good. If you guys have any
Awesome.
questions, Jason is there to help you guys out. I work with Jason a lot, so whatever you guys have any questions, he can just send it to me, and hopefully that will have a lot of you guys flying premium economy business or first class soon.
Awesome. All right. Thank you guys. We'll see you next week.
Hey, bye, guys.
Bye.